Hello, YouTube! Long time no see. I wanted to bring this to your attention. For the record, I am a bona fide tree hugger. I love nature. I'm sick of the global poisoning. However, I do not buy into the climate change hoax, and I'm sure the rest of you probably don't either. I'm more concerned with the global poisoning that has been going on through farming methods, and the consolidation of power over the green movement and what you call greenwashing really concerns me, and I'm going to use this as a prime example. Now, the UN has been pushing the sustainability agenda, also known as Agenda 21, and they're redefining what sustainability is, and I am going to prove that to you. So first, we are going to watch this video. Now, I would like to point out, okay, and we'll go through the video bit by bit. I would like to point out that crop rotation, the way they present it in their propaganda video that you just saw, they take the legumes, the beans, and they just rotate different beans in different plots of soil. That is not crop rotation. I grew up on the outskirts of Binghamton, New York, in Tioga County, Appalachian, New York. Appalachian, New York is mostly farm country. My father repaired and sold farm equipment. A lot of my teachers in elementary school at Tioga Hills, which is in Appalachian, in the summertime were farmers, so I couldn't get away with too much because my father knew most of them because he repaired their farm equipment. So yeah, that's where we're going to go with that. However, prior to the Department of Education takeover in 1980, which is about the time that I entered kindergarten, and we saw the switch over, the local community still had say in the local curriculum. Now, the local curriculum included knowing about not just local history, but we learned about farming. So one of the things I learned was proper crop rotation and how the Indians do it, because this is old Indian land. So what you're supposed to do with crop rotation is, like, you can't like plant garbanzo beans one year, plant green beans another year, and plant kidney beans the next year. You can't do that. That's not proper crop rotation. Crop rotation is like 1 year you're going to plant root vegetables. The next year you're going to plant lettuce. The year after that you may plant something different, a different variety of vegetation. You can't, like, keep plant spinach 1 year, plant romaine lettuce the next year. That's not proper crop rotation, okay? Because certain varieties of the same plant will still absorb and take the same nutrients from the soil. Okay, now the other thing is that they propagate is they're going to take what's left over from growing the beans and they're going to feed that back to the cattle. So I'm going to show you right here. You're going to see that this tells you feeding legumes causes this frothy blow, and it can actually cause the animals to die. This is not a good thing, but they're like, hey, don't worry, because we have the solution, and the solution is that we're going to give them all these drugs. We're going to give them antibiotics and all these things to make this not happen. You just have to add all this crap, all these chemicals to the feed, and everything will be just fine. And if you go on to read the article, if you pause it, you'll see that if they don't add these chemicals, that the death rate is 20%. So now they're creating this crisis. They're going to deplete the soil. Some company, probably Monsanto, is going to come along going, hey, we have the solution. It's either going to be we're going to dump all these petrochemicals into the soil, or we've got a seed that's going to grow in this depleted soil, like enriched rice, right? Don't even get me started about the propaganda behind the gold rice. And then with the cattle, it's just going to be, oh, we'll just drug them up with big pharma antibiotics and all these chemicals to keep the symptoms at bay. It doesn't mean the animal's not diseased. It just means it's just not showing symptoms. So, and then on top of that, we're going to get to whether or not beans are healthy. Beans are high in phytic acid. Phytic acid is known as an anti-nutrient because what it does is it clings to minerals and it doesn't allow the body to absorb them. A good example of that is when you eat a lot of corn and you poop out corn or peanuts, because peanuts are very high in phytic acid because your body can't digest them and unlock those nutrients unless the bean, the legume, the pulse has had the phytic acid breakdown. And if you are following the whole geoengineering project, particularly with the chemtrailing, you know that the soil is becoming more alkaline. Seeds cannot grow in alkaline soil. They need acidic soil because the acid breaks down the phytic acid that is in the hull of the seed and is in the seed, and it allows the nutrients to get to work and grow the plant. So that's beans. Really, when you get down to it, they're not that nutritious. Personally, I soak mine in apple cider vinegar. I rinse them off and then I dry them in the oven. Wheat and grains really aren't that good for the same reason. So if you're pushing a diet high in legumes, you're missing out on a lot of key nutrients if those beans and those pulses and legumes, they're not harvested the right way. And I'm not going to insert anything into this video. Instead, I will just link all my information as I do below. So this is just propaganda at its worst, and they're greenwashing it, and it's not even green. And everyone's consenting to it because people want to live in a clean environment. They want their food to be clean, but they're telling you what they're doing and nobody's questioning it. They don't teach this stuff in school anymore, and there's a consolidated power now over what is sustainable. They're just redefining it. And I used to advocate for genetically modified labeling, putting, mandating that the food be labeled, and I was so wrong on that, because as soon as you give them the power to start defining these things, then we lose all control, because then they're going to redefine what those things are. And we've already seen that with like organic milk. And with milk now, was it Florida that now if you don't add vitamin A and D to the milk, you have to label your milk as imitation milk? And we already, with the GMO labeling, we already have a free market approach, and that is the non-GMO project. And I stand corrected on all those things, and let this be proof that they are consolidating power. They're going to redefine what is organic. They've already, in Florida, decided what is now going to be that. It's just like this whole Orwellian flip. It's ignorance is strength, war is peace, and slavery now is freedom. And yeah, I hope this enlightens you. Feel free to share this video with other people. Please get the word out. I'm a tree hugger. I'm an environmentalist. I buy organic. I don't like to give my kids the chemicals. Here in the Binghamton City School District, all the kids get free lunch, free breakfast, free. Now, my kids, I'm going to say 19 times out of 20, they're taking their lunch, except for on pizza day, because I lose that battle. But I'm trying to get away from that. I've been busy educating my family as to what's in the food, and I'm going to show them this, because this is some serious shit. Okay, so I haven't forgotten about the video about the flag. I have to call the VFW because I can't find the current Army regulation, and I want to give you guys the information so that way you can look up that stuff yourself. I'm also working on a few other things that I need to bring to your attention, and I'm reading the biography about Jonas Salk, who developed the polio vaccine. And just to give you a clue into what's in that, I'll let you know that, I'll ask you, did you know that his first trials were human subjects in insane asylums? It's kind of ringing of the whole plot for the medical experiment conducted by Nazi Germany, which was the basis for season 2 of American Horror Story. So yeah, Operation Paperclip. Okay, Rockefeller, IG Farben, Standard Oil, Drug Trust, World War II, look it up. So yeah, I'm having a hard time getting through that because it's ad nauseum. I'm having a difficult time because it's making me angry and it's just sickening. So yeah, so I hope this helps you, and I thank you, and thank you to all my recent subscribers, and I will link all my information below.